You are listening to part 20A of the podcast series, 21 Qualities of a Leader.
Quality number 20, teachability. I have discovered that successful leaders have a teachable spirit. Gerald McGinnis said, value your listening and reading time at roughly 10 times your talking time. This will assure you that you are on course of continuous learning and self-improvement. Or John Wooden, I love this statement. It's one of my favorites. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. I was out with him recently, and we spent a half a day together. Just because I admire him so much, and I just consider his wisdom just huge. I wanted to make sure I was really ready for him. So I spent several days. I've read everything he's ever written. I've listened to tapes. Anything I could pick up, I read. And I had several pages of questions I wanted to ask him. And I'll never forget, we went to lunch first, and so we're sitting down, and he was with me, and then there was one other guy that was with us, and we got into small talk, and I'm saying to myself, oh, dear God. You know, I hope we can get through this in about 2 minutes and we can get down to the real stuff of life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine too. Okay, we're both fine. Now can we talk? You know, so anyway. So we did the small talk, and so I felt was appropriate, and I said, Mr. Wood, would you mind if I just want to ask you some questions? He said, well, no, sure. You got a question or two? Ask me. I thought he has no idea. I reached down and I pulled out my traveling companion where I do all of my thinking and shaping my thinking, and I started asking questions. I'm just writing. I'm not eating lunch. You can eat lunch anytime. Good night. Get your priorities right. Skip lunch. Ask questions. I'm having lunch, all right. I'm feeding off of somebody's wisdom. And I'm asking questions. I probably did that for 30, 35 minutes. As soon as he pauses, I ask another question. Because, you know, and finally he said, John, wait a minute. He said, I'd like to ask a couple questions from you. I said, okay, one, and then can I go back to mine? And he laughed. But what was I trying to do? I was trying to glean as much as I could glean in the period of time that I absolutely had. And I'm always amazed. When I'm even around people how unprepared they are for conversation. I can always tell a person with a teachable spirit because there's a spirit about them where they just want to glean and they want to ask questions and they got a lot more that they want to know. And could you just let me just ask one more thing. And it's that incredible passion to grow and learn and to go to a level perhaps they've never been on in their life. It's called teachability. And the secret in your notes to lifelong growth is teachability. See, your growth determines who you are, and who you are determines who you attract. So who you attract determines the success of your organization. And it all begins with teachability. It all begins with a teachable spirit.